Mr. Fetzer, great to have you here at our conference.
Thank you.
Can you share what was your favorite part of today's conference with our audience?
For sure. So, first time of all, I had seen so many, or let's say almost all stakeholders in the steel industry at one place. So from energy providers, from grid managers, from the technology providers, from the steel mill to the scrap recycling part. So really great format. Congratulations for this.
Great. You're a scrap expert, so let's talk a little bit about scrap recycling. In your view, what are the most significant achievements in scrap recycling and supply, so let's say over the past decade?
So for sure, there have been great advancements in the last 10 years. On the one hand, we have the technology which improved dramatically. On the other hand, we have a complete change perception of circularity, of recycling, of sustainability. In the technology, for sure, we saw a lot of improvements in downstream technologies, in better sorting technologies, i.e. with the use of sensors. Now robotics and artificial intelligence comes into the game. On the other hand, regarding, let's say, circularity, we recognize now that also the producers, the product producers, focus very much on, let's say, recyclability of the products. We learned it today from Volkswagen that materials are used which are really made for recycling. So it's also designed for recycling, which really involved in the last years. For sure, sustainability. We heard a lot of decarbonization today. Now we have the shift from blast oxygen furnace to electric arc furnaces. More and more, let's say, steel producers are focusing on reducing their, or are even forced to reduce their CO2 emissions, demanding more scrap, more, let's say, high quality scrap, which is for sure our challenge now to provide this, let's say, steel scrap without impurities or reduced impurities. We call it tailor-made scrap. This is the product we will provide to the industry. And let's say also the regulator changed in the last 10 years. We all have heard about the European Green Deal and the European, let's say, path to circularity. It provides a clear pathway now to decarbonize the industry, especially the steel industry. And all in all, we saw a lot of consolidation in the recycling sector. We saw globalization in the recycling sector. We have much advanced now global material streams and supply chains. I think it's whatever you touch, there was great progress in the last 10 years.
Let's look a bit at the future. In your opinion, what are key enablers for successful scrap recycling? You mentioned regulation.
Yeah.
You mentioned providing very smartly sorted scrap. Is there anything else?
Good question. For sure, it's, let's say, my point of view, threefold. As you said, it's technology, it's regulation, but it's also collaboration. In the technology part, we will see more and more smart sorting, IA-supported robotics, which come into the place. On the regulatory side, we hope that we find also in the next years an environment which supports, let's say, sustainability, recycling, circularity. Today in the panel, we touched on the permit situation. But to make all this happen, also the steel recycling industry needs faster and easier permits to really follow the needs for the steel industry. And finally, collaboration is key. The steel producers will work hand in hand with scrap recyclers. So to align the quality demand, the quantity demand for, let's say, tailor-made scrap to really fulfill the target of circularity.
Thank you very much for the interview and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.